Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to integrate Stripe payments into your Voiceflow project using our custom built Stripe function in Voiceflow. So this is a streamlined version from the previous one that I showed, and this one cuts out most of the make.com operations, making it very fast, more cost effective, and much more efficient. So in this, we're going to cover the Stripe invoice generator function, the best practices for e-commerce integrations, some security considerations, and a complete setup and testing. So the best part of this is that this method is much more simpler than the previous method and reduces operational costs significantly. So you can see on this canvas that there are two workflows here. The bottom one is the previous workflow that we did where it uses a lot of make.com. In that flow, remember, we had to create some invoice items, and then we had to now do the creation of the customer and all these processes. And then we had to watch for payment as well as to send this particular one-time password to the user. So in that flow, as a recap, we had 4 particular scenarios. But in this particular build, where we have the voice flow function, we are only going to need just 2. That is the OTP and the watching. We will not be needing the create invoice and the sending. All that will be done with the function. So let's zoom in right to the top one, which is the new one. So in this particular build, I've already talked about this name verify functions and the email function. And these are very key to Stripe integration. Why? Because you don't want people entering fake numbers and emails. It can break your Stripe integration. So that's why we have all these there to really make your flow much more enterprise built. So let's first look at what we're doing here. So in this particular flow, what we have is the first name and the last name, and that will create the full name. We have the extracted email from the email validation function. We also have the formatted international number, which we'll pick from the verify validation function. We also have the price as well as the currency. So one key feature of this whole function is that you can actually put in different currencies here. So as long as the currency is in the ISO, you could see here that this is an internationally recognized standard that shows registered currency codes for different regions, countries that you could be used. So we have the AED for the UAE, as well as we have AED for Australia. This function is built in a way that you could enter any value here, any code here, and it will still work. So in this particular build, we also have what we call the Stripe invoice description. So this description is what you normally want to appear on your Stripe invoice, which shows the description of the product that you are selling. And also we have the Stripe invoice memo, which also talks about more like a string or a text that you want to show to the user that maybe thank you for your business, or after they have paid, they should do YXYZ. So all that information is there. This is the Stripe days, Stripe due days. So if you send a Stripe to a person, you may want the person to pay latest by 2 days time, 3 days time, 4 days. But sometimes you may want the user to pay quicker. So you normally could put a 2 or 3 days there. This is the Stripe secret key. And this secret key is very important and should be kept secured. As I will show you in some description later on, you understand why. So in this particular build, we have this secret key, and then we picked it from the Voiceflow secret manager, and this is it, this Stripe secret key. So the reason we are using the Voiceflow secret manager for this key, and we're not just pasting the key there, is this is a Stripe key, right? This is a secret key. It has many permissions, and any hacker could actually make use of it, and that could really harm your brand, harm your clients, and I guess you know what I mean. So when you look into the functions, this Stripe function, you could see that you could see here that we have various inputs as already mentioned, and then we also have this particular key that we could use. So this key here, in Voiceflow, we are going to use the secret manager, and I guess most of you already know how to do that. So when you click on this secret manager here, you could paste in the key there. So what you do is you create a new key, Stripe Stripe API key, and then you paste in your key here, whatever value that is. I do recommend you put it on restricted because of the highly sensitive data, as well as this is a Stripe key. So anything that deals with money, especially the money for your client, you should take care of that. So you put it there, somewhere there. So that is where I'm calling that key. I also call the zero balance key, then verify key, and the Airtable token key. So all those keys are here. So I call them here. So this part is a secret manager. This part is also a secret manager. So let's delete that and bring in the verify key. Let's delete this and bring in the zero balance key. So now it's much more secured than just storing the information as default in the variables. So coming back to the Stripe, we said we're going to use the secret manager. You see the secret manager documentation, you scroll a bit to the bottom, and then there are some details about this particular encryption. So you could see that this is a cryptographic encryption method, right? That uses a very advanced encryption standard with this amount of bits, key size. And what I like about it is that it's able to really encrypt data using this particular bit while simultaneously generating an authentication tag to make sure or verify that the data hasn't been tampered with. So this is a very important thing to note for your build. And some of you are not using it. I highly recommend you use it. So I did provide a bit more description here when you get your hands on the function at the bottom here. All these notes I believe will help you. And then don't forget to create your paths as error and success. So with the information that we copy into the business, the invoice description, at this particular step, this is the same information I copied here. And you know that there's a paragraph here, right? So to make the paragraph will also appear on your Stripe invoice because you don't want it to be cluttered. So you could use paragraphs in the variables and it will still work. So all I did was to just create a space in here and just paste it. The next thing in this build is that we're going to post all the information that is being generated in the Stripe. We're going to post that into Airtable. A key thing you have to remember is that the price is a number. So you may want to delete any inverted commas here. Otherwise, it will not work. So you have to remember that when making the API call. So let's just do one run and see. Oh, I think I did an error here. Feel free to call me Mufasa. So you're going to see how quick this invoice is going to be generated. So let's apply the discount code. And then we generate the invoice. So in this invoice, you're not going to loop through any block to check whether the URL is empty or not. So this is very streamlined and much more better than the previous one. So we can see here that we have the information that we requested for. We have the amount in sent, we have the customer ID, we have the PDF, and we have the URL, which most of you are looking for. And then you can see that the information that we pasted there, the memo, and we can see the description here. When we specify the amount due, here it is, and also the currency that we specified. So the next thing that we're going to do is that we've already clicked to view the invoice. So we're going to just make a payment, and then we will be able to see the next flow. So let's say the person doesn't pay, right? So we're just going to say, yes, I've paid. But indeed, I've not paid. So the chatbot knows that I've not paid. And then it will ask you again for that. So after this, the whole flow is the same build as the previous one. All this part is the same. Like all this part is the same as the old one, like most parts of it. But some of the things we are doing here is that after the user has paid and is indeed paid, we'll be able to send the watching. So this is watching for paid invoices, and it sends the word paid. This status is sends it. So it sends it as paid into here, and then it pays it. So we could actually pay for this, and then you see what I mean. So I'm just entering some information outside here, and then okay, I just clicked on the button for payment. So you see the automation here, put in the word paid and updated the Airtable. So I've already walked through this in the previous video. You may want to check that one out. And then Because now we've paid, let's click yes, we've paid. So indeed you've paid. So it checked the Airtable just like in the previous video, and then it generated this code using the JavaScript, using this JavaScript here to generate a 9-character code and sent it by email. So this is the code here. We're going to enter that code. So we proceed with the verification, and that is verified. So once it's verified, what we did was that the user would have, let's say this particular part is the services the user would enjoy. After they enjoy the services, you may want to update the Airtable with the word expired instead of paid, because the person has already consumed the services that they've paid for. So you have to prevent the user from coming back with the same information and gaining access here. So there's also a part where we have if the Airtable column here has the word expired, and if it has the word expired, then you also know that that person has already made a purchase, and then we pass them through this path. So I think I went a bit more detailed in the previous video, so you may want to check that one out. But mainly what I wanted to show was the simplicity and the effectiveness of this particular flow. And there you have it. This is a very highly streamlined Stripe integration that's faster, cheaper, and more efficient. It uses Voiceflow functions. And don't forget to check it out in the Voiceflow marketplace. So if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, visit our website, and for more custom solutions, you can reach out. Thank you very much.